Well, I am honored to introduce Bob Berry. He's the founder and principal of Alpha Matter USA, which is a global technology consulting firm, which is also a business referral partner of ETS Solutions. But before this role, Bob, you had a different position. Tell us about that.
Well, about 5 years ago, I returned from Dubai, where I worked as a Chief Information Officer there as well, and became Chief Information Officer for Reef Technology, which has about today 4,500 parking locations, ghost kitchens and such, and that's where you and I met.
It is.
Started our great relationship.
It is. In fact, it was August of 2017.
Was it?
Can you
Okay.
believe that? Yes. And I was referred to Bob, and back then it was Lanier Parking, it's Reef Technology now, by another business referral partner. So as part of that process, Bob identified some requirements for all of his locations, and we went through our ETS user experience, and that actually resulted in an annual savings of over $300,000 for just phone and internet services.
That's right, Mike. Yep.
Yeah, but I remember the story I have to tell is after my final presentation to Bob, the phone rang and I was at home, and I received that call from Bob, and he's like, Mike, it's Bob Berry with Lanier Parking, and I have good news and bad news. The good news is we've vetted all of our vendors and we've chosen ETS Solutions. The bad news is you have to work with me. So I was laughing and kind of nervous at the same time, but what I found out was Bob is one of the most thinking outside the box CIOs I've ever met. So he has come up with ideas and ways to increase productivity and decrease costs. And this process, Bob, has taught me a lot about how you work and your experience as a CIO. So I thank you for that.
Well, that's great. Yeah, we as we did go through the vetting process, as you know, we were able to achieve significant savings, get better throughput, better aggregation in terms of the billing and all the services that were provided, so we were happy with the results.
Thank you. So during that vetting process, what made ETS Solutions stand out from the other vendors that?
Yeah, it was a combination of things. I think the fact that as a relatively smaller organization that ETS is, there was certainly more focus on the service. There was a greater detail to attention. Cost savings, quite frankly, was better than some of the other organizations. And I think that the process in which the transition occurred, the knowledge and the project management was critical to the engagement and getting everything in place.
Awesome, thank you. So you started working with ETS Solutions. What did we do that really exceeded your expectation? Is there one thing that really exceeded your expectations?
Yeah, I guess it was the regular communication and the transparency. You know, that's critical in any project organization in terms of, what have we done last week? What are we doing next week, or when the next reporting period is? How have we shown progress? And really from a program management perspective, the transparency that came forth, showing along the way the net savings that occurred to the company, and obviously being able to take that information and move it up in my chain of command in the organization.
Great, thank you for that. So you now own your own company. We're going to hear a little bit about that in just a minute. But what is the main reason you would recommend ETS Solutions to enterprise multi-location clients?
Yeah, I guess it's going to end up being that, in any situation where you can consolidate your services to one organization, there's ultimately synergies there. Mm-hmm. And in today's business, saving money, saving budget is critical. But I think your organization goes past that. It's not just the fact that in creating broadband aggregation, you can have consolidated billing and you can understand where the money's going. But it's having that intimate service, if you will, with your organization, having someone such as yourself who the owner of the company being engaged and involved and having that escalation path is critical to anyone that's in a CIO or C-level organization to be able to take that and run it up the flagpole if necessary. So that's important.
Great. So Alpha Matters USA, that's your baby now. And
yes.
Now you're doing technology consulting. How does being a referral partner for ETS help build your trust in your clients?
Yeah, I think in terms of ultimately, my firm is really across the board in terms of any IT consulting work that's required. And over time, as I've vetted other organizations that are doing work for me, whether or not it's software development, cybersecurity work, really help desk work, wherever that requirement might be, that, you know, and then being able to provide that, maybe not necessarily use an ETS for some of those things, because we do conflict a little bit in some of the things that we provide. However, you can provide, you know, great service in terms of providing circuits, some of the other areas where we are compatible in. But it's having that vendors that you've worked with in the past, you've formed a great relationship with them, and ultimately being able to recommend them and be confident that, you know, they're not going to embarrass you or put you in a bad way with your existing client.
That's great. Well, it's been a great time working with you, Bob, and we love working with multi-location enterprise level clients. And of course, you were the CIO of one of those, and now you're consulting with those. So we really want to close today, and I want to thank you for your time. But we want to close by having you tell us about Alpha Matters, and, you know, how can we help you?
Sure. Well, as I said before, prior to coming to Atlanta and being the CIO with Reef, I was in Dubai for 5 years in a CIO position. But ultimately, over the course of 30 years of being in the IT domain, you know, I've worked with a lot of different vendors and feel that I've done a great job in vetting those vendors and bringing really the best of breed, best of you know, any resource that's across the IT spectrum to the table. Mm-hmm. And so Alpha Matter can really perform any IT services that are required by any client, you know, large or small, whether it's software development and using the resource, some onshore resources, some offshore, help desk, some onshore, some offshore. But it's that hybrid solution that ultimately gives you the best optimum from a budget perspective, as well as capability and quality control of the deliverables. So, you know, we're a small firm, such as yourself, but we can ultimately provide both services to large and small clients.
Yeah, that's a great summary. So if you're looking for great technology consulting in any field you have, I think between ETS Solutions and Alpha Matter, we can help you out. So we look forward to hearing from you. And thank you, Bob, for your time today.
Thank you.